Hey, yo, Marshall here, and I'm just quickly making sure that that it stays live. Yeah, it stays live. Alrighty, so you might realize it's really late on for me to stream. Past 11. Yeah, I might not do a stream tomorrow, but I'm not too sure yet. I'm gonna see how I feel. But I will be streaming Friday, because as I said, next week I'm not streaming Monday or Wednesday. I might stream on Friday depending how I'm feeling, cause yeah, I'm going on holiday. Yeah. So it will be interesting to see how I feel when I get back. If I feel, energized stuff like that, I'll probably do a stream. I don't know what of, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Alrighty. So there we go. Oh, I was like, yeah, I forgot. What was that? That's my Bruja. Same. Okay. So now, basically, my dearest, closest, lovely assistant, unfortunately, they are not feeling in the best of moods. They feel very down at the moment. So, I've decided we are going to do this one based on the character that she actually played through this and completed. Yeah. So, we are going to go as Ventrim, which is probably going to be the same class, maybe, that they may play as if they give Vampire the Masquerade, the TRPG a try. Because I do have the card book for this, and I do have the little free stuff for downloading wise, because I do have an account, so it does mean I get the free ones as well. So I got them, and it seems pretty good. I know I do have a set of dice for this, but I've never actually used them yet. Well, I've been, my main focus is in TRPGs. I'm doing all around in general one, you see, all in general, focusing on the broader term of them. But I know enough about some of them to be able to play them as a player and as a DM. Some I know how to play as a player, some I know how to play as a DM. But this will be one that'll be interesting to one day give a try. So yes, so we're going to go as Ventrim. We shall keep the name Amanda, I think. Actually, we can either do this canonical and keep it Amanda, or we can name it something else, but I think we're going to keep it canonical. Go with Amanda. But this is for Archmagus. Yeah, just hopefully it might help cheer up a little bit. Okay. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back when I was a human, I would have told you it's a superstitious bullshit. That we are all designers of our own destinies. I will be reading this word to word. It's my word in no testament. You've never heard me swear before, so this might be something really weird. No apologise, it's because it is Halloween. I want to focus when I get into character with this a little bit. I changed my voice off to a female, but yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I think if this was earlier on, I will do one. Yeah, and I need to look at that voice morphing stuff again sometimes. The one I used to make my voice clearer is what I use for this. That's when my voice comes out not clear on this one. And a bit louder because I've got it sorted out that way. Okay, that belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, the face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Fate, you decide. ... Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was I flew too close to the sun, It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was inconsiderate myself. I was hot shit. I had it all: money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in my eye. The one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would fit me much better. She was a ninth-generation kindred, just like you, an apex predator. She probably enjoyed teaching me the peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. In such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggarts and see them for all they really are, a temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate. A message saying you're entirely doomed to be at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me just her amusing subject. I'll probably be doing this until midnight, by the way. Oh god, my throat's going haywire. Oh, let me just... What I'm doing is just say, I've got someone in the background to help me keep track of time. It's on for every 20 minutes, so two of these in the background, which can't be heard. Look away. I have to double check that one. Alright, back to the plot. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. ... You might have wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be the day some associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from plane, having you wake up in such a unfamiliar place was a little desperate. And I do apologize for that. But it is so rare for you to visit New York 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much. Don't get me wrong. But it is precisely because I value that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I trust to do this job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to breach the rules of our subletter. Like this, you might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. Is it? This is how it begins. Your phone rings, it's your boss. Again. The setting sun that fills your high-rise office an hour ago is gone. The city looks like an ocean of light from up here, spreading for miles to the north. You pick up. You were about to call it a day, forget about the world of fintech, and decompress at home. No dice. One of the investments wants to meet you, his voice said. His voice is always the perfect mix of authority and sleaze. He'll come by your office in an hour. You look at the clock. An hour. He's got to be kidding. Yeah, I know, but stick around. He's a heavyweight. You'll want to make a good impression. Fine, you wait your teeth a little. The boss hangs up. 2 hours. Might as well pour another coffee into yourself and figure out how to best use this to your advantage. You suspect everyone knows that no, you're actually not happy with your current position, that in fact you feel squished against the glass ceiling that comes with the territory. Sure, your idiot supervisor might have gotten the job only because he's a CEO golfing buddy, but you're going to put the unholy amount of work into your advancement. Times were you'd laugh off the idea of staying at the office until 9 p.m. You had a plan to go home to the nightly Netflix and chill ritual with phone, complete with pizza or Chinese takeout. That actually sounds pretty nice, actually. Ever since you moved up the ladder, though, your hours have only gotten longer. Food, mostly at your company cafeteria, sometimes takeout, always in a rush. You praise the heavens for your crazy metabolism and dread the day it finally decides to give up. Rest. At this point, the cleaning lady who takes care of your apartment probably spends more time in your bedroom than you do. I hope not. You flash back to your bosses quoting Shakespeare to impress his new, extremely attractive and comfortable young secretary. For some must watch, while some must sleep. So runs the world away. Drinks, mostly with Coteries, and they pretty much hate you at this point. Sounds about right. Another flashback, this time to the most profitable quarter in the company's history. Still, the board decides that layoffs were in order. Your boss didn't feel like letting people know in person, so he passed the privilege on to you. Wow. Gotta hand it to him, he always knew how to pick his battles. Good for him. But maybe, just maybe, tonight is the night it's all going to change. You decide to play the good look angle, nothing too slutty. You leave your blouse slightly unbuttoned, check if your ass looks as good as you remember it in your pencil skirt. Mirror says yes. Let's just hope the client says yes as well. It's not something you're proud of, but you become too jaded to care. Yeah, that's the spirit. Knowing your look, the investor, in quotes, is going to be one of two types: the self-obsessed Musk wannabe in his 20s, or a fat old pervert drenched in cologne. You heard the elevator ding. Time to get this show on the road. You take one final look in the mirror and fix your hair as the footsteps echo across the empty hallway. The man who appears... No. The man who approaches your office is not what you expect. He's slick, to be sure, but he seems to be more refined than your usual company man. Expensive suit, matching tie and shirt, confident in his stride, surprisingly good looking. That's Patrick Bateman. God, I hope it's not him who's killing us. That wouldn't be good. Good evening. Oh, God. I hope this unforeseen visit isn't too much of an inconvenience. God, that voice, you're taken aback by how smooth and strong it is. And his eyes, steel blue, cold, intense. He's all business, professional, treats you in the manner that's appropriate to your stature. When he speaks, he actually looks you in the eye. And that's a cleavage. That's good at least. He asks some questions about your work, tells you how he's noticed your input of talking to the CEO, another golfing buddy, and comes charmingly close to calling your boss an incompetent doofus. All the while you try to guess his accent, but can't quite place it. European? Sure, but where from? I know I've kept you long enough, but would you indulge me and join me for a drink? Of course, for a minute, it seemed he wasn't that kind of guy. But what the hell? You go for it. He seems nice enough. Besides, it's not like you have other plans. Don't you have a partner at home waiting for a takeout? The investor has a limo waiting downstairs, and the driver takes you to the high-end restaurant in Williamsburg. A seat is waiting for you in the Lux Lounge. It's just the two of you. You talk about this and that. Your companions seem to have a knack for history. That's good. So tell me, what would you do if you had full control of the company? You almost choked on your wine. This is your chance. You say what's been on your mind for months, but hide it behind a veneer of professional copper babble. Refocusing, listening to your instincts for once, restructuring, kicking out your boss, aggressively pursuing new markets, getting the hell away from all those horrible people. He likes the sound of it. He leans forward, his eyes flash with intensity and something else. A strange emotion that wasn't there before. Mother, you'll do just fine. Good God. His words echo inside your head as you black out. You wake up, God only knows how much later. As you try to piece out what happened, you hear a familiar voice. The investor, or whoever the hell he is, talking to someone. You suddenly recall snippets, fragmented memories, his sapphire eyes intently locked onto with yours, his teeth suddenly longer and sharper. And then, something else. A feeling on your neck that takes you back to your last orgasm. A company trip to Florida. What? It never gets Florida in orgasms. A sweaty room, the cutie from HR who doesn't work there anymore. And then, darkness. Yes, I'm done here. Contact my debt. Consider my debt paid. The investor pushes the other figure aside and walks away from the lounge. Barely bothering to look at you, the door locks behind him. Some time passes before you find the strength to get up from the couch. You touch your lips, blood. Did that asshole hit you? You try to stand up, but your head is pounding and your stomach is like a heavy knot, pulling you down. You didn't have that much to drink. He must have spiked your wine. This is bad. This is very bad. You frantically check your clothing. Pristine. Doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, the feeling hits you unlike anything else you've ever felt before. You fall to the ground, quivering in an all-encompassing pain and hunger. The kind that makes your insides burn, that cannot be denied. You try to calm yourself down with breathing exercises they taught you at some bullshit mindfulness course. That's when it hits you. You're not breathing. And holy shit, your heart should be jumping out of its chest with that realization. But it's not moving. Not even a beat. The door unlocks. You hear the startled voice. A young man in a waiter's outfit, his accent thick with the Eastern European harshness, leans over and asks if you are alright. For a brief moment you wonder what the hell he's doing here. Everything is wrong. Then his smell reaches your nostrils. It's intoxicating. Everything feels right again. He holds out his arm to help you stand. You grab it firmly with both hands and you bite down. You sink your teeth right next to the old-school pin-up tattoo of Rita Hayworth on his forearm. It takes you a moment to process what you're doing. A part of you wants to break away, but a stronger voice implores you to keep drinking. One thing becomes clear: you are definitely enjoying this. Which I hope you all are so far too. I've never... I don't usually do narrative-like stuff. I'm not actually doing all the speaking out, the vocal stuff, trying to get into character. I've never really done that before, but I'm going to have to, because I am going to be DMing, so I need to get used to doing stuff like this. You know, I need to get used to doing this. He only struggles a little and quickly falls to his knees. You can see his eyes now, pale blue and confused. You only bring yourself to let him go once he's collapsed onto the floor. Your bite leaves a mess on his forearm. Poor Rita, all blooded, missing half her face. Did you just drink this guy's blood? Dot. You spit out a piece of torn flesh. Kapooey. Don't want it. No. That's why? Where? It's Hayworth's other half of the face. What was in that fucking wine? Barely able to focus. Your heart and your lungs still motionless. You reach out for your phone to dial 911. 911 operator. What's your emergency? Oh God. I'm in shock. Really more shocked about my heart stopped. I can't breathe. I've just killed someone. I think I'm gonna say I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Ma'am, where are you right now? The door of the lounge swings open, and the man who enters is not the one that brought you here, though there are similarities. He's tall for one, broad shoulders, handsome, dressed in an immaculate suit, but his skin is darker, and the look of his face tells you he's not here to negotiate a deal. He knows the smartphone in your hand. Pass me the phone if you want to leave. I don't know what is that, man. The man's voice is persuasive, calm, but carries clear threat. He got the aura of a vicious, efficient cop shark. You find it hard to argue with him. Ma'am? Hello? I apologize for wasting your time. My new colleague got drunk and is now trying to impress everyone with her antics. Good night. He disconnects the call and places your phone in his pocket. Whatever reason, you can barely take your eyes off the stranger. As hypnotizing as his presence is, though, it is always highly discomforting. Good evening. I'm here to pick you up. Who are you? Okay. Who are you? I'm your guide through this perilous night. The stranger approaches the waiter and examines his body. Critical condition, but he might live. Anyway, he then set his sights on you. I know this is all new to you, but I've dealt with hundreds of strays like you, and going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, they are the smart ones who carefully obey my every word and don't try to pull anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there are the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact someone secretly and without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, most of them never reached their destinations at all. His voice becomes slightly bored and monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before, likely dozens of times. So you see, while I generally consider myself pretty smart, I'm also a Mets fan. It's one of my true weaknesses, one that inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system when dealing with pups like you. If you get on my nerves once or twice, well, I understand that not always perform well in stressful situations. But cross me 3 times and you're out. No excuses, no forgiveness, no mercy. As he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit of theatrical swagger in his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize it's a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes, and you're out. Say, I understand, sir. Now. Every atom in your being screams you to obey authority. I understand, sir. Stick to that tone and you'll do just fine. Moving on, is there anyone you want to inform of your current situation? Tell them you're right. He flashes his fangs briefly, and for some reason the sight sends chill down your spine. There is something very wrong about it. Someone closest to you? No, I don't have anyone. The stranger squints at you. No family, no lovers, no friends, nothing. A job. Your blank stare tells him the whole story. He immediately stops prying and gives you something even worse than a look of pity, a look of honest compassion. Well, that makes things simpler, but let me be crystal clear, just in case. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up under, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure that those laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes looking for you, it is over for both you and them. That practiced tone again. You put on your poker face and listen in silence. So unless you want your boss to end up at the bottom of the Hudson, I'd suggest you cooperate. Don't tempt me. He smiles, revealing his fangs again. There's something absolutely sickening about it. Suddenly, you feel overwhelmed by a sense of exhaustion. You pass out. Did that, I don't know why. When you regain your senses, you find yourself in the stranger's arms. The man is holding you as you would a spouse who had a little too much to drink. You try to break free, but he holds you close and gives you a cautioning look. Only when you cease struggling does he let you go. Only now do you notice the change in scenery. You find yourself in a fancy lobby, right next to the elevator. The place is virtually empty, save from a single concierge and some cleaning staff. Your companion gestures at the concierge as you pass, and he picks up the phone. The elevator arrives, the door opens, and the man motions towards the cabin. After you. Where are we going? To a safe place. That's all you need to know. Trust me, you don't want to make this difficult. Just get in. Going against your instincts, you enter the cabin. Smooth jazz is playing over the speakers as the elevator starts its descent. You are dazed, panicked, and somehow locked in place. On the one hand, you find the stranger's presence oddly soothing. On the other, you can feel your body tensing up with stress. You can't help but think back to the young waiter, the doe-eyed look on his face, the confusion he gave you just before. No, better not think about it. Plus, you have other things to worry about, like the fact you're being kidnapped. The cabin door opens at the same garage you arrived at, which the investor some hours ago. The man shows you a black Cadillac Escalade. I know what you're thinking. Getting in the car with some strange man. Boy, it sure seems like a dumb idea. Maybe I can make a run for it. I might be able to lose him. So let me be perfectly clear. You best get in. Your best bet is to get in, relax, and enjoy the ride. What do you want from me? To meet your new supervisors. You'll see. Supervisors? Is that what a hostile takeover looks like nowadays? No more questions. Get in the car, please. It seems like the worst idea ever, but the man made it very clear that you have no choice in the matter. Are you going to hurt me? No, not tonight, at the very least. Unless you make me. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Listen, you really need to quit stalling. We're on a bit of a schedule here. The sun comes up in about 2 hours, and I don't intend to be here when it does. What does it matter when the sun comes up? You really don't know, do you? The good thing I got here when I did. He opens the car door and gestures towards it. You see no point in delaying the inevitable. So you get in. The door locks behind you. The Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without another word. Did I die? Depends on your definition of death. Listen, I realize you may have many questions. Tomorrow you will get some answers, but tonight you need to do what I say. And right now, I need some quiet, please. You feel too confused to protest. You stay silent for the rest of the ride, even as more questions bubble up to the surface. One of them being, did you actually kill someone tonight? Staring out the window, you find it hard to focus and quickly lose track of where you're headed. You can only tell that you haven't left Manhattan. Another underground parking, almost featureless, empty. The car stops, and the man opens the door for you. We're here. The stranger walks you to the nearby door. He opens it and motions you to get in. Go on in, make yourself comfortable. If you're hungry, again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow, and you'll get your answers. Behind the door is a small room, no windows, just a simple bed, a single light bulb hanging in the ceiling. A small fridge is humming away in the corner, accompanied by a rattling AC fan in the wall. And where are you going? I have to make some arrangements for tomorrow, of course. Look, this room is your best chance of seeing another night. I realize you've been put in a problematic situation, and it's not entirely your fault. Cooperate, and you might still make it. You will learn more tomorrow, but for the time being, get in and get cozy. He gestures inside the room. You step inside, the stranger nods. Good night. He locks the door behind you. He looks very sturdy. You open the fridge, a single plastic bag there filled with red liquid. No label. Tomato soup. You feel sick to your stomach. Best leave it for now. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame. At least it's not too filthy. You think back to how this evening began. This investor is he friends with the dark-skinned stranger who picked you up from the restaurant? What happens now? Unable to relax, you spend an hour or so playing out various scenarios in your head. Eventually, you decide to give in and let exhaustion take over. Whatever tomorrow brings, you'll rather face it well rested. Plus, there's no way in hell your boss is going to notice your absence tomorrow. That and maybe some of the restaurant staff will feel a pang of conscience. Someone will notify the police. Someone will find you. Right? You flash back to the waiter's tattoo, the bloody Rita Hayworth, winking at you over a pale mess of a wound. You did this. You bit him, drank his blood, and it tasted good. What if you can never go home again? You are so tired. Your entire body tensed up one last time, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels. The room is unchanged. The lamp's still on, the AC is still rattling, the refrigerator is still dying. You take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You slept for 17 hours straight. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone and you feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry, and it's not your stomach rumbling now. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and the back of your head. You open the fridge, the bag is still there. You take a closer look at it. If it is soup and its colour and texture are off, you pull the cork out. Take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. Holy shit. There's no mistaking it. It's bagged blood. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating, but now it's almost. No, not almost. It is enticing. It feels wrong, but right now there's barely anything in life that doesn't. To hell with it. You pour a bit of liquid into your mouth. It tastes like shit. It's coppery, thick, and clings to your tongue inside your mouth like a film of dirt. You swallow hard regardless. The taste is foul, but somehow you cannot want more of it. As you take a second sip, sucking the blood from the bag, you feel something pull on your inside. You double over. You're going to barf. You instinctively cover your mouth, looking for a place to vomit. Before you find it, a dark red wave washes over your hand and fingers. It hits the floor, splattering in huge thick drops. You keep heaving for a moment longer. Nothing is coming out. No blood. Not bile. Not even spit. But still something in your body wants to push it out. Push it all out. Every single drop. As you recover, trying to wipe droplets of regurgitated blood from your dress, you hear the lock click and see the door open. You're standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. The immaculate suit again, that predatory look, like a hawk on a hunt, but somehow more relaxing tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe. Good evening. How was? He noticed the splatter, your right hand, the sick look on your face. He barely contained a smirk. Oh, was the catering unable to satisfy your critic's taste? Apologize. You can't tell me you can drink this. He takes the bag of you and pours all its content into his mouth. He closes his eyes, theatrically savoring the taste. When he opens it for a few seconds longer, he looks sharper, energized. Not all of us are picky eaters. Come on, we've got places to be. I have some water and a towel in the back of the car so you can clean yourself up. The car is humming. In the empty parking lot just outside the door of the cramped room you have spent the day in, the man motions to it, politely, but with a stern look on his face. Oh, I was there for a moment. Ooh. That was actually quite a beer, was that? Oh, yes. I might. I mean, it wasn't a long stream, but that was a good little bit. So, if you like this kind of stream where I basically voice every line, and you like this kind of narrative where I'm being, I guess, uncensored and that's because I am reading it from word to word what they're saying. So that means any swearing, I will read it out. I won't censor it for these streams. Because Batman Masquerade Universe, the World of Darkness universe, is meant to be gritty. It's meant to be like this. It's got more to it. You can censor yourself. You can do that. I normally do with other things I do. But for this one, it kind of felt right. It kind of felt right to say it word to word to really get yourself in the area, in the mood of this kind of thing. Now, I will look at the voice morphing thing sometime. And I will do some settings or so now, because I might be able, potentially, to look at some of the voice morphings where I'm able to switch them to be able to try and get some more immersion there. But let me know if you enjoyed this. I'm going to see if we can actually, can we pause it? Oh, we can. Yes. Alrighty then, folks. So we're going to save and exit here. I really hope you liked the stream. I know I've still got 10 minutes left. Oh, but I don't know, it really hurts, hurting a lot to talk. I'm not used to doing this, is he? I'm not used to doing this much talking constantly. I'm having to try and teach myself to do this, because there was a video I did a long time back, which actually was doing it was the Demolition Derby game, you see, from the first PlayStation. Now, I decided to try and do it as an actual NASCAR sports commentating style method of it. I did my throat in. I didn't rip anything. I didn't bleed anything. That my throat felt like it was. I didn't strain it luckily, but it really hurt for like 3 days afterwards, because I had to constantly keep going at a fast pace, to constantly keep going with it, and because I'm not used to it, it ended up hurting quite a bit. By I think near the end of it, or actually at the end of it, it started the pain because I stopped. It's kind of like a running, where you gotta run, you feel your entire body aching, but you know the very moment you stop running, all that pain will suddenly grab you like that. But yes, so I hope you enjoyed the stream. I gotta admit, it was a really nice bit of fresh air doing the stream. It felt really good to be able to be uncensored for a little bit in doing these narrative playing, because actually reading it out word to word, it was really nice. And I did enjoy the Werewolf the Apocalypse as well. We did. You can definitely see the two different styles, and there is, I think in this one you can die. There are choices which can lead to your character dying. You gotta do it again, or you gotta reload and do it again. But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed the stream. This has been a really nice Halloween stream. Like the finale to end Halloween. There's still 8 more minutes left of Halloween. But I hope you've all had a really, really spooky time. And we've all had trick or treaters for the first time in a decade. So that was very surprising to see that earlier on. Yeah. Alrighty. So do please catch me in the next stream. It's either going to be tomorrow or it's going to be Friday. But I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. See if I'm up to it. And if not, I'm probably going to end up spending more time with Archmagus to try and help cheer her up. Yeah, and I hope this also does wonders for her too. Because I did try doing some of the voices for it. It's actually hard to talk, by the way. It feels like every time I try and talk, my jaw is wanting to seize up. My vocal cords are wanting to stop. Yeah. Alright. So for me, Martha, thank you very much for watching. I will try and get my voice more able to do continuous talking like this, to be able to continuously do the narratives. I will try and find ways now to do that, because this was a lot of fun, and hopefully all you viewers now, future viewers, may like this. You may like this style of video. Yeah, I don't have a VTube like avatar. I don't do webcam like face cam stuff for these streams. I had a really bad experience in the past. So why do I do that? Nah. But I guess this Halloween, as I can say, because a long time back, you see, I actually tried to help someone, and did not go well. It was basically someone who me and the rest of a WoW guild knew, and we kind of saw some issues starting to appear between this woman and this guy. So we tried sorting it out. We tried getting that. The guy ended up going out with her, but there was like a ton of red flags, and we all tried and helped. It wasn't anything, ultra dangerous. Just it wasn't anything like that. It wasn't anything, life injury. It wasn't anything. There wasn't anything like nothing physical, nothing like that. Because we all knew each other from online, you see. So it's all just typing words. But what it turned out was, me and a few other people ended up getting on this guy's bad side by accident. Well, not by accident. He didn't like the fact of that. We were all speaking to, the woman who he was dating, stuff like that. And this was a time when I did do some face cams for like an intro, and one of the Spyro videos, I think. I deleted the comment, by the way, so no one will see what it was, but I can still remember what it was. It was actually a verbal threat that they gave to me. Yeah. Pretty much, it was just like, now I know how you look, I'm gonna come get you and stuff like that. And that kind of wowed me a little bit. So from that point onwards, I didn't show my face. And I only show my face to people who I genuinely feel like a lot of trust with. I know won't do anything like this. Yeah, and I guess I can say it as well. I can tell you this story. Last 4 minutes. Basically, one of my relatives, they passed away sadly a few years. I think. Oh, I see. Uh, wow, it's so long ago now. Probably a decade and a half ago. I was 16, I think, when it happened. I was 16, I think, and my grandma passed away. But it turns out my grandma, when she was younger, she used to work at a fish and chip place. That was actually, it was in the town where she lived. Well, no, not that. And she and someone else were actually working that night. And a man came in wanting an order. But then he started asking my grandma, oh, they didn't like, no, back then when she was a youth, and the other work colleague to come help him with his car. There was something wrong with it. And when being asked that, suddenly the manager came out from the back, uh, scolded my grandma and the other work colleague about making a mess in the kitchen and sort of told them to come back here and clean it up. So when the day he went back, he then just said oh, it's no mess. But basically what then, as I was taking the rubbish out, I recognised the man's voice and I actually saw him putting something down in the back of his trousers and hiding it under his shirt. And it turned out to be a hammer. Yeah. And when they actually went back to the front, the man had actually gone. And when they heard the car start up and then just drive off. And that was kind of weird. It turned out that man was actually Peter Sutcliffe. So the Yorkshire Ripper. It turned out he was actually going through that town and he actually tried to get my grandmother and her work colleague to go to his car, which is how he normally lured people to it. And, that's how the murders happen. Yeah. And, yeah, it was quite scary. And I think, actually, I think I found out recently my mum, when she was doing her nurse studies, a nursing thing to get to be in the full role of a nurse. Turned out she was just starting when the final Yorkshire Ripper body was in the morgue. So that's something even more surprising. I just didn't know. And that genuinely surprised me. That, I guess, that my grandma and my mum both had either a hearing or a seeing involving the Yorkshire Ripper. Now that, or the Yorkshire Ripper in some sense of it, and that genuinely surprising. Alright, just ended at midnight. It is now the 1st of November. Halloween is officially over. So yeah, that's a bit of a story time for you. It genuinely surprised me to this day, actually. I only found out the second bit recently, but I was surprised inside. Yeah, it's something it's something you never quite expect to hear. But yeah, alright then. So from me, Dark Banjo, thank you very much for watching. Catch me in the next stream. As I said, either be tomorrow, or today now, or Friday. But I'm gonna see how things are during the day. I'll let people know on Twitter what's happening, just so aware. And I will see you all then. Alright. Have a good night, everyone. And I hope you all enjoyed yourself this evening.